You will hopefully remember a few weeks ago, at the beginning of June, I said that I was going to try a new technique. It's actually something which is developed out of Karma's mind clearing. And in the Karma's mind clearing, in the second phase, this is about disconnecting old traumas from your feelings so that the traumas can no longer self-replicate. Now, as I originally developed mind clearing, I tried to do it as a general transmission, which I've done with the healing transmissions and a few other things since then. And then rapidly discovered that because each set of traumas is unique to that person, anyone in the room other than that person gets a thundering headache because we're trying to disconnect things which aren't connected. So, for general purposes, I can't do a general transmission which disconnects old trauma from your feelings or disempowers old trauma. When, however, we look at root traumas, that is, traumas which affect the whole of society, then maybe it becomes possible to do something. Now, there is one which affects almost the whole of Europe, I think pretty well the whole of Europe, and parts of India and the present Arab world. And this relates to an asteroid collision with our planet. Now, some say it was in 3195 BC. Some give other dates. Now, this is all very vague because when you get an event of this magnitude which causes a tremendous amount of chaos, it becomes very unclear from the surviving records what actually happened when. So there are a number of similar events. The time that's furthest back that I've heard so far was 4005 BC, and the shortest time was 2200 BC, but they seem to all describe the same event. And what happened was that an asteroid came in at a very shallow angle, clipped the top of a mountain in Austria, and then shot on and exploded in a valley, or created a valley in Austria. But because of the very shallow angle, instead of making a usual round crater, if you can imagine, it comes down with a really good thump and boom. Try it yourself. Throw a large stone at a shallow angle into a sand pit and watch what happens to the sand. You can't get enough energy into a thrown stone to get the full effect, but actually the debris from this impact was thrown very high in the air and landed to a large extent in the area which we call nowadays Mesopotamia, which at that time was the center of civilization. And this created not only many, many thousands of deaths, but also because the water sources were poisoned from the debris, and most of the crops had been severely damaged, if not completely destroyed, the people had to leave. And this created the diaspora. And people moved to the east and maybe formed or merged with the Vedic culture, unclear. Some moved south to what is now Qatar and then later into Egypt and formed the Egyptian civilization. And some moved west and created the Celtic civilization. Now, until very recently, the Celts had a saying that their most potent fear is that the sky will fall upon their heads. And this is exactly what happened in either 2200 or 3195 or 4005 or some other date around that general area. So there seems to be some confirmation here, in general, of what actually happened, what this looks like when you subjectively experience such an event. Now, this trauma led to a dichotomy. Well, first, a separation from trust in Mother Earth, trust in abundance, and then a separation of humanity into two groups. A greedy group and a needy group. See, both have had their roots pulled away. They're no longer relying on Mother Earth to support them, which she does. They are saying, I need to, greedy people, store up resources so that I can survive the next traumatic event. And the needy are saying, I might as well give up now because I'm not going to survive anyway. And this forms the basis of modern society, where the greedy exploit the needy. Now, if that trauma can be removed from society in general, then maybe this could bring about certainly a reduction, if not the elimination, of this exploiter-victim structure. We hope. So what follows now is the transmission which deletes this one specific trauma. Sorry, let's rephrase that. It doesn't delete the trauma, it separates it, disconnects it from your feelings so that it has no power. When it has no power, it has no effect. And this enables the natural reconnection with the abundance that Mother Earth gives to us by design. So, enjoy it. You will find that when you've done it at least 3 times, you can just pass it on to everyone in your vicinity. You just, as you're sitting there receiving the transmission, just visualize it flowing through you and out of you to everyone around you. Not just your house, maybe your whole street, maybe your whole town. Just practice, just keep doing it. The more people who no longer live in fear of the sky falling on their heads, the happier everyone will be. And that's our objective. Thank you.